I'm back in the Safe Relationship training room, and today I want to speak about consistency in our Safe Relationship toolbox, and being able to identify consistency is quite a big tool to have in our Safe Relationship toolbox to use when we want to sustain and attract happy and healthy relationships in our lives, because consistency is the signpost potentially to a happy relationship, depending on what that behaviour is. So I'm going to expand a little bit about that today, because being able to identify certain things, certain behaviours, certain patterns can really help us in actually maintaining a safe lifestyle and safe relationships and situations. So today I want to talk about consistency in a person or situation, so that we can train ourselves to stand back and objectively view that other person or that situation to see whether certain behaviours are consistent over a very long period of time. And I want to connect that to the switch, which could happen after a commitment of some sort has been made. And that commitment doesn't have to be an official commitment, such as marriage. It could be any sort of commitment. So first of all, let's talk about consistency. And over a very long period of time, someone will show us who they are. And that time period can be an exceptionally long period of time. Sometimes it can be years. Because if we're not in a committed relationship where we're actually living with someone on a daily basis, we're not seeing them 100% of the time. And so we're not seeing the whole gamut of their behaviours and their personality and character over a long period of time, because we're not with them all the time. So there could be another persona that we're not seeing, because we're not seeing them in their full light. So I want to just talk about consistency in terms of observing someone else's behaviour over a very long period of time, so that we get to see what the patterns are as far as their character is concerned. And that way we get to know who they truly are, as much as anybody can anyway. And so consistency is where we see a pattern of behaviour building up over a long period of time, because people are generally unable to keep up a behaviour that is not consistent with who they truly are, and that is not in line with their true character. It's very hard for someone to keep up a front or a persona or a mask over a very long period of time, because that's not in line with who they truly are. So it takes much more work to pretend or to act in a certain way. And certain dysfunctional individuals do not like to have to act in a very nice way over a long period of time, because that's not generally how they feel within here necessarily. And so it's not that easy for them, and it doesn't come across as being authentic, because it's not in line with who they truly are, or may not be. So observing consistency over a very long period of time is important. That's the number one key. However, when a certain commitment has been made, such as it could be when you sleep with someone for the first time, which sort of moves up the relationship to another level, as it were. Or there is a commitment of engagement, for instance, or moving in together, or a pregnancy. Anything really that takes the relationship to another level. This is where we may see a break in the consistency in the behaviour, because the other person feels more secure in order to allow the real persona to come forth. So they relax, they feel more secure, and they become a little bit more complacent, and they may relax into behaviours that are more in line with who they truly are. So they feel more comfortable, they feel more secure in that relationship and that situation to allow the authentic persona to come forth. And that could be in a form of disrespect, or just sort of relaxing their behaviour, and even as far as the commitment is concerned, really. So that consistency that we may have seen before the commitment that is being made may be broken at that stage where a switch occurs and we start to see the real person coming forth. And then, of course, after a commitment has been made, the other person knows that it's harder for the partner to leave. Not impossible, but it could be harder. And if they know that person well enough to know that they're not going to leave anyway, then they have free rein to behave in whatever way they want, because that partner potentially may not be able to set boundaries. And as I say, they may not be able to leave anyway. So identifying consistency before a commitment has been made, but then looking to see if there is a switch in that consistent behaviour to another type of behaviour that is more consistently in line with who that person truly is. So it's quite a good idea to hold off and to have patience and to just see if there is any switch in behaviour along the way after a commitment has been made of some sort. And in the meantime, of course, making sure that we stay safe and very happy. Bye-bye.